What is up, guys? My name is iirix, and today I figured I'd do something a little different. I'm going to start not only showing EDH decks, but standard decks, as I usually will have 2 or 3 built at one time, because I will play one, and then I'd like to have something else that I can test it with, you know. But today, I'm going to be showing my Abzan. It's just a regular like Abzan Midrange. It's not the control or manifest like I've seen a few people doing. Emphasis on a few, but ignore these around here. That's just my messy desk. I'll show you guys. I always got piles of cards everywhere. I mean, it's messy. All those cards over there, you know. But yeah, go ahead and ignore that. We're just gonna focus on my Abzan deck right now. So I'm going to go through real quick, just show things, and then show usually what it'll be doing. So it's got 3 Wingmate Rocks, 1 Gideon. Gideon reminds me, I will point out, I'm missing a few things, like another Gideon. I'd like to have at least 1 more Gideon. I do have Drana in here, but I only have 1. So I'm working on collecting the pieces. But Wingmate Rocks, 1 Gideon, and then 3 Plains. Then I have Drana, just 1. I have 2 Lilies, it's 2 Ruinous Path, and 3 Swamps. Then in green, I have 3 Undergrowth Champion, 2 Nisses, and 3 Force. We get to the multicolors, I play 3 Death Dealers, 3 Anafenzas, 4 Siege Rhinos, because Siege Rhino, 4 Dromoka's Command, 4 Abzan Charm. And then the lands, multicolor lands, I have 4 Windswept Heaths, 3 Canopy Vista, 1 Caves of Koilos, 1 Llanowar Waste, 2 Shambling Vents, and then I have 4 Sandstep Citadel. And the colorless, I have 4 Hangerback Walkers. So that's what I have right now. I'm working on getting another Gideon, maybe another Drana. I don't know about her. I'm going to test her. But then we have the sideboard. I play 4 Drana's Emissary. 1 Stasis Snare, because I only have 1 Stasis Snare. A Quarantine Field, 4 Outer End, 3 Den Protector, and 2 Tassiger. Now I'll explain the deck and then I'll explain my choices for the sideboard. Now, so stuff like Gideon, I have 1 of. And Drana. Lily I like, but only need 2. Ruinous Path, I only have 2 at the moment. I'm working on getting more. Well, I don't know about Ruinous Path. I like it, but I like to play 10 pieces of removal at minimum. So 4 Dromoka's Command, because I always choose to fight something, and 4 Abzan Charms, plus 2 Ruinous Path. So I'm at my 10 card quota. I might bump it up to 12, but I always like to keep at least 10 pieces of removal in a deck. Let's see. So I got Wingmate Rocks, because I need to fly. And that's also why I have Drama's Emissary, 4 of them in the sideboard, because my deck does not fly very much. And my removal, sometimes I can't use the removal on the flying ones, because I'll have to focus on big things too, or I very rarely do it, but a +1 counter and a fight is usually how I pick things, but sometimes I can't. Abzan Charm, I like to draw cards. That's usually helpful in this deck because there's nothing else to help me draw. There's no more card advantage aside from flipping Nissa. But, I mean, there's 2 of them in there, and it's not too often that you're going to flip her. Aside from that, I don't think I have any card advantage. Nope. People have suggested Ob Nixilis because I think you just flat out, you draw a card and lose a life. I think. I don't remember. But I do not care for Ob Nixilis. Where was I? Oh yeah, Ruinous Path. No. I don't remember. Point is, you know, oh yeah, it was on Ruinous Path. Abzan Charm, I like to draw cards just about as often as I like to destroy something. Then another thing that I'm not so sure of is Undergrowth Champion. I like it. The landfall is really cool, and then it has the ability where if it would take damage, you know, remove a counter instead and prevent the damage. That's cool until it gets hit by, like, let's say there's 4 counters on it and somebody uses Wild Slash on it. That's 2 damage, but you prevent it and it loses a counter. So a Wild Slash might be a bad example, but it's very easy to lower the counters on it. And you can lower counters on this thing faster than you can build them up. So it's a test right now. Usually, if I need to battle somebody who's flying more, I'll board it out for Drana's Emissary. Because Drana's Emissary is 3 for a 2/2 flying, which is fine on its own for me. But then at the beginning of your upkeep, you steal one of their life. So I like that. What else we got? Death Dealers are something that I'm on the fence about. I might cut those soon, but I don't know what for. That's why they're kind of still in here. And Offenses I like. Those will probably get cut soon as well for Drana's Emissary if Undergrowth Champion performs really well. Have to wait and see. Sea Drano, you never really drop Sea Drano because it's just good. It's good early game. A lot of pressure because 4 for a 4/5 trample, and then you steal 3 life, or late game if they're at 3 life, you can steal it and win. Sea Drano, I just explained it, but I'm still gonna say I think it goes with that explanation why you play Sea Drano. Drumworks Command, +1 counter and fight. I usually try to do it with a hanger bag. And then if it's a trade, I get 1 more Thopter out of it. Or if it's done with Undergrowth Champion, if it would be a trade, he prevents the damage and loses the counter you just put on him. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. Abzan Charm, I explained it. Abzan Charm does not have a bad option. I mean, if you have to, it's not bad, but I mean, 2 +1 counters probably be the worst one, the one I use the least, because I prefer to exile and or draw 2 cards and lose 2 life, but then the distribute 2 +1 counters I don't do very often. So if I have to pick an option that's bad on Abzan Charm, it's that one. See, the lands, I'm running 24 lands total. Nothing in here that helps accelerate mana, just lands. I got 4 Windswept Heath, because I have 3 plains and 3 forests. Those are swamps. I think I have 3 forests instead of 4. Yeah, 3 forests now instead of 4. I dropped 1 for a Canopy Vista. So I can fetch 1 of 6 basics, or I can fetch 1 of 3 Canopy Vistas, which is really nice. Caves of Koilos and a Llanowar Waste. Caves will probably become a 3rd Shambling Vents if I get one, and Llanowar Waste will probably stay because there are no black-green lands at the moment other than Llanowar Waste. Unless you want to play that Khan's land that comes into play tapped and you gain 1 life. Woo! 1 whole life. I mean, sometimes 1 life makes a difference, but I'm not going to play a tapped land and gain 1 life when I can play this, go a little bit faster, and, because on turn 2, if I get Sandstep Citadel and then the tap land, I can't play Death Dealer until turn 3. But if I get this out instead with a tap land, I can play Death Dealer on turn 2. I lose a life, but I'll take it. Not a big deal. 2 Shambling Vents because I like the idea of 2/3 lifelink. Yeah, it comes into play tapped, so that's kind of a bummer, but I like Shambling Vent a lot. I like it. I like the 3/3 hexproof that the green-blue decks get, but, can't have everything. A white-black hexproof would not be very characteristic. Then you got Hangerback Walker. It's amazing card. It blows up, and then you get Thopters. I want to try Hangerback Walker in a deck with blue that uses the +1/+0 for colorless guys. I can't think of the name. I got the deck somewhere over here. Nope, it's over here. Is it? No. This is Abzan Aristocrats I'm working on. Hang on. Sorry, I'm not prepared. Not prepared. Tide Drifter's +0/+1. Where is he? Here we go. Ruination Guide. Other colorless creatures you control get +1/+0. So I'd like to try that with Hangerback Walker. Your Thopters are 2/1 flying. That seems like fun. But that deck is just a mono blue Eldrazi that I'm kind of playing with. It's more casual. Sideboard, Drana's Emissary. Why do I play Drana's Emissary? There are a lot better cards out there, but Drana's Emissary is 3 for a 2/2 flying. Fair. And then you steal a life every upkeep. There have been several games where I get locked up in a match, and 5 turns pass with nothing happening. That's a 10-point swing. That those 5 turns, just sitting there, nothing's happening. You're draining their life. I don't know about you, but taking 5 life away from my opponent sounds pretty good, just because I have it there. and let's say they have no flyers to block with it, well, I mean, it steals 1, attack for 2. Next turn, it steals 1 more, attacks for 2. You just hit them for 6 and gain 2. I like it a lot. Stasis Snare, I love this card because it's flash. That is really nice, but I only have 1, so that's why I only play the 1. It's a replacement to the one before it, but the one before it didn't have flash. I can't think of the name. Quarantine Field, I have 1 because I like it, but I mean it's not very good. It's just kind of here because I had a slot open on the sideboard. Utter End was for the decks that played Tutelage, but with so many colorless cards in the format now, Sphinx's Tutelage I think has lost a lot of playability. But still play Utter End for those pesky cards like Planeswalkers and Ulamog, who's indestructible. Stuff like that. Dem Protector, I very rarely play anymore. I'll probably take it out of the board. But it's always nice to bring back a card that you had. Tasigur. Tasigur is nice too because it brings a card back from the grave as well. And you can delve. This is a card I haven't played too often, but in slow matches, I board in Tasigur. Usually in a slow matchup, I'll take out Wingmate Rocks for Tasigurs. Or Rakshasa Death Dealer. Anafenza would probably be a better pick. Because the Death Dealer you can get in early and you can regenerate. Anafenza just makes counters and exiles stuff when it goes into the opponent's graveyard. Exiles instead. I don't know. It really depends on the matchup. You can't, designate something to be board out. And that's that. You guys know. Those of you who play Standard. It's very... it's a tough game. It's rock, paper, scissors, I feel. Aggro control mid-range, rock, paper, scissors. But that's how I see it. So, thank you guys for watching. There's my Abzan Midrange. If I got to put a name on it, a deck type, it's Midrange. I have that. I have a Timur deck that is not... I used to play it. It's pre-rotation, so it still has temples in it. Everything else is legal, though. But the temples are easy swap out. Just, basic lands or the pain lands. So... I got that. What else do I have? I have a Jeskai aggro-ish kind of deck that I can show too. So you guys just leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see. I plan on getting some other kinds of Magic videos up soon. Check out, I opened 2 boxes, put those up. The first one, depressing. The second one, not so bad. It made up for the first box being a little crap. But check those out, guys. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.